Are you ready? Are you ready to pot it up?
Let's go. Let's have fun. Peatcast it.
This is the Simply Youth Ministry Podcast with Doug Fields,
I think it's going to be a four-shoulder touch.
Matt McGill,
Nothing says loving like a muffin.
Josh Griffin,
The internet is a hotbed of activity.
and Jana Sarti.
Podcast!
The show starts now.
Oh, that's just me.
Hey, everybody.
What happened?
Simply Youth Ministry Podcast. Matt McGill, Jana Sarti, Josh Griffin, and
Hola.
Douglas Fields here at show 120.
The bearded Doug
With
Fields
our-
has joined us.
Until tomorrow.
There is,
Till tomorrow.
it's a good look for
do
you.
you have
Why
to
until
shave?
tomorrow?
Tomorrow is my face cancer day.
Oh.
Where I get the whole...
Chemical peel?
No, it's
Sandpaper?
not a chemical peel.
Micro.
What is happening
Abrasion?
to you? Do you have
Is that
cancer?
what it's called?
I
mean,
have-
other than
I
in your
have-
mind?
No, I have like
We all have cancer.
pre-cancerous things. Like after they take the fifth one off your body,
Right.
They just do a chemical scrub.
Of
I
your
don't-
They
face
search.
only?
I'm just getting my face
They
right
do
now.
ultraviolet.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're gonna be what?
I go in tomorrow at 1. They do something with some light deal.
Ultraviolet.
They give me a full body cancer, skin
Gross, yeah.
cancer check, which I'm supposed to get every 3 months,
Hope it
and I
comes with a
haven't.
massage.
Not really. It actually.
My back.
Actually,
Let's
you
do
know, the
this.
worst part about it, the doctor guy's cool, but the nurse
Yeah.
practitioner's there, and I have to
Cold
stand there in
fingers.
my underwear. No, and I always think, oh, you don't go to Saddleback, do you? I just
That's the way I'd be
always,
wearing,
I
yeah.
just feel weird.
They're
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah.
though, dude.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you're
They
But
look
still-
they
When I
look
got
young.
my
Good.
vasectomy, I drove like 40 miles south just so I wasn't near the
Oh.
church.
Yeah.
I didn't. I just found the best guy in the world and said, "You're the one."
You're
Yeah.
the one. Hold me.
And
So anyway, that's
you did.
tomorrow. Something
Wait, so-
cancerous. but
okay,
here's
so
the deal.
cancer-free
I gotta be
tomorrow.
I gotta be inside for 3 days.
Away from the
Oh.
windows.
Away from the windows. I'm not even supposed to be near light.
Can you put tanning lotion
No,
on? Or
no,
something
I
like that?
dream.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
I know, Matt. you
Wait,
should-
so you're just
Matt
gonna
would
sit?
purposely go to the
I
closet.
would trade you gout for cancer. That's for sure. Yeah.
That's not a good trade. Do not take that.
Do I get a choice?
So anyway,
Well, you
hey,
could have shellfish again, though.
tomorrow, and who knows when
Alright.
this will be posted. Chris, our
Talking
producer.
about scary things
Come on.
doctors say. I once had one of those colostomies, and the doctor said, "Don't worry, I have a gentle touch." And I didn't know whether to be horrified or
Like he was trying to be funny.
no. He was dead serious. He was talking about the whole procedure in a deadpan doctor voice, and he
How did
says,
it go?
"Just want you to know that I have a gentle touch." And I didn't know, do I be horrified or excited that this guy did have a gentle touch?
Yeah.
But
I'm just never gonna.
I
have
switched
Yeah.
doctors, and
Yeah.
and he said something like, you know, and he said something about like when you turn 50, then we'll start doing the what's the exam without me saying rectal
Prostate?
exam, prostate. He goes, "No, we'll start doing the prostate when you turn 50.
I can check prostate.
And I said,
What the show?
and I said, well, here's what I said. I
The
go,
Youth
Out
Ministry
of
medical.
The
Club.
Health and Wellness Podcast.
yeah, that's
brought
what this
to you
is.
by.
That's what this is. And so I said, oh, when I turn 50, because my other doctor started doing it when I was 40. He goes, your other doctor's weird.
Maybe
So
it was my
50.
doctor. That's how he got his gentle touch. Not a
All
practice.
right.
Hey,
hands in.
so-
We're gonna start
Can we edit that?
Somehow, if
Hey,
I start talking about doctor's appointments, it'd be really
Yeah,
inappropriate.
Yeah,
no,
sure.
somehow
Nobody
But
wants
here's
it's
the deal.
different,
That's
though.
the real part of life
Pap
is,
smear.
is that we are, Matt, that needs to be edited. We are,
I noticed you have a lot of gray in your beard, Doug.
I
Something
do.
change.
Another reason that I have to shave it.
No, I think
So
it looks
why do
good.
you
It's
need
got
a
like
beard,
an elder
though?
statesman.
What does the
It's
beard
Why
cool.
do I
do-
need a beard?
Yeah, what's the beard
Cover
do
up the
with
skin cancer.
No,
I don't-
tomorrow, yes.
Oh.
You'll have to
I don't
shave
need a
it.
beard. This has
Wait.
just been like, oh, wait,
Isn't
I
it
don't have a
what?
real
Good
job
job.
anymore.
That's
You know,
right.
you should shave it tonight in case it's sensitive
Razor
tomorrow,
burn.
right? Don't you-
I think
seriously?
so.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Plan
care
on
about
that.
your face and stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Jana, we just came from a lunch that
I heard.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
thanks,
so
guys.
because
good.
tomorrow,
Wait, the thing is I was sort of invited, but by mistake.
I guess that was a mistake.
Yeah.
'cause
Wait,
I
what
still don't-
happened?
Well, I
You
wrote
didn't-
on the email, I wrote
and
MM,
JT.
and I meant
Oh.
to do JG
Yeah.
for Josh Griffin, but I must have done JS or JT, whatever.
JT.
I still call her to our team. She used to be Jana Tallman
true
until she
story.
was married 7 years ago.
Ironic.
Like 8.5.
8.5 years ago.
Eight and a half,
And I
you're
still
still-
call her JT.
Yep.
Hey, have you ever thought about doing that dash in your name? The
Hyphenation?
Jana Tallman dash Sarti.
JT is better than JS.
That's what
anyway.
I'm saying. Like, what about JTS? That's good.
Nah, JT. So
You're not
anyway,
that- you're not that
tomorrow is our weigh-in, our official weigh-in.
Yes.
Everybody at the table is participating except for Jana. She's pregnant.
Oh, she's gaining weight.
So tomorrow,
I need
which
a
is
very healthy
December
baby weight.
4th, is the 12 weeks away from being in the
I'm in.
at the conference.
Maddie,
Now, those
I'm in.
of our team who are listening, if you're going to the
Matt even wore
conference,
his exercise clothes today.
wow.
Dude.
yeah, blue is not slimming, is it?
His Nike shirt.
I like sweatpants.
Track
They look good on
pants.
you, yeah.
Tomorrow I might wear some dry weave.
So we're weighing in tomorrow.
No.
Photograph the scale.
Photograph you on. You have your
And
feet
a
on the scale.
before
Got it.
shot. And if both of you guys could have your before shot with
A
no shirt on.
Oh, I'm in on that.
No shirt
I'll
on.
go Speedo.
Okay.
I'll flex. I will suck it in and flex.
Weighing in tomorrow, and then everybody else who enters, they have to do the same thing. Now, if you're not
Yeah.
going to the conference, the official, like, if we're a little bit late into the game, so
Yeah.
you could weigh in Saturday, Sunday, or Monday.
Totally.
Because the conference will be over on Monday,
But
and
by
they
the time
will
you're hearing
announce.
this podcast,
They could hear the
It'll be
podcast
Friday.
tomorrow.
Just jump in. Get
Yeah,
in.
and
it'll
I'll,
be up tomorrow.
I'll Twitter. Yeah, I'll Twitter. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
So
we
they
got
send
the
in their
rules on the
picture.
website. Yeah, they're going to send in the picture of the scale for their starting weight and their before picture.
Okay.
we should
and-
send an email around on this.
Yeah,
We
we should.
will.
I've been bulking up the last few days,
You
just
have.
trying to get ready.
Really?
So I had an extra plate of shrimp today at lunch, and just ready to.
So today at lunch, Jana, we meet with the owner of Boneheads,
Delicious.
and he's wonderful. And he bought us all lunch, and he was basically talking nutrition at the beginning and looking at Matt
Very
the whole
boring.
time.
It was
I
very.
was the only person paying attention to him.
No,
you
that's
guys
not
were
true. You were
busy
checking
making
your
jokes.
phone, dude. You got to get out of that habit when you meet with people you don't know. Check your phone. I thought that was a little rude, but.
I wouldn't
Okay,
say I didn't know him.
here's the best part. The best part of the whole deal.
Uh-oh.
Best part of the whole
Can you
deal.
say it?
This guy comes over who used to be in charge of the Thanksgiving thing that we did on last year
Yeah.
at Saddleback, where they cooked like 100 meals
big
and gave
homeless dinner thing. It was very cool.
And so Morgan, who's the owner of Boneheads, is talking to him about the Thanksgiving deal and stuff like that. Then he leaves and he goes, "Yeah, they didn't do the Thanksgiving deal this year at Saddleback. Who dropped the ball on that?" And it was so great because for our
And
team,
scene.
who doesn't know, that person who used to do it was on Matt's team, but he's not on Matt's team anymore, so it fell to Matt's
It's
team.
Matt's
and,
job.
and so it was just great. Who dropped the ball on that?
Picture Matt holding a ball and then releasing it, and it just kind of dribbles away.
We have
Wasn't-
water,
it wasn't
very
that
cool
bad.
water bottles. Here's our free gift.
Like
This
I
is
care.
from
I
the
would love
Flight
one of those.
Ministries. So to the podcast crew, super late from our time at the PDYM Student Leadership Conference. Hope you enjoy the water bottles. We use these during a series called Save the Planet. I told Josh at the conference I would send him something if he got me a HSM shirt, and he ended up giving me the shirt off his back. That's how
Aw,
committed you are to
I
our
am.
team.
I love
you,
these people.
You really are.
And you
Our
just-
students
Anything
enjoyed
for
the
free bottle,
conference. I've seen enormous change in their life since attending the conference. It was worth the 48 hours driving to get there. My team and I are looking forward to seeing you in Chicago. So Roy
Fun.
Probus, gracias.
Thanks for the water
Thank
bottle.
you.
These are actually very cool.
They're super cool.
They have like a
Freeze pack.
freeze
thing.
pack inside. Very
Cold
very
water.
What if you would have used this money on reaching youth?
Hey, we're talking about saving the planet, which has the third week on it.
Look
Is
at
about.
look at his youth.
Yeah,
He's
that's
saved.
awesome.
Very
He's
nice.
saved
Very nice.
20.
That's in the
picture.
refinery too. That's
No,
fun.
yeah.
At
totally
SLC.
joking.
Remember, I think it was last week when we read about the guy getting free stuff on the road trip. You remember
Yeah.
the guy who would just go up to
At
the line
meals.
at
2 years
meals,
ago.
and
Yeah.
we said, "Boy, you got to put that
Oh,
guy instead
yeah.
of making fun of him, you got to put him in charge of,
Yeah.
And well, Chris Burke writes in and he says, "If you called last week, you read my comment about one of the guys getting free stuff all the way down to New Orleans. I'd just like to say the guy who was getting the food for free wasn't just a volunteer; he was my boss." Which is awesome that he just took care of himself. He was his boss that just
That's
took
how
care
it
of
should be.
himself.
Look out for number 1, youth ministry principal.
This is
99, right?
Danette
98 more. Here we go.
Maddie, who is
know
part of
Danette
our Inside Track team for the
Oh.
Simply Youth Ministry Conference. She
Cool.
writes articles for groups. She is a wonderful, wonderful woman. She's also a volunteer youth worker. And she says, I always look forward to the laughs and tips on each podcast, but last week God used your podcast from several months ago to help in a crisis. After you throw out a few top-of-the-head one-liners, you can read on to find out why. Last Friday, November 20th, I was out with my 17-year-old daughter when one of the girls in my high school small group called sobbing to tell me her 14-year-old brother had shot and killed himself only moments before. I was both shocked and heartbroken. I'm close with this girl and wanted to get there as soon as I could. Of course, I had to hold it together in order to drive safely during rush hour traffic to the Twin Cities, but as you might imagine, my head was spinning from the news. My daughter and I prayed, and as I drove, the Lord brought to mind the podcast when you talked about the funeral Josh officiated and how he walked the family through that tragedy. Even though it had been months since I'd listened to the episode, I kept hearing Josh's voice talk about how important presence is in surviving family members and how just being there is huge. I recall Doug talking about the practical help Matt gave him when his dad died, sitting in his kitchen looking through photos. This young man's funeral was yesterday, and while it's been a difficult week for the family who lost their son, for our youth ministry, for me and my daughter, I want you to know that the podcast was instrumental in providing comfort and counsel at a difficult time. Well, thank you,
Really
thank you
cool.
for writing in. Yeah, those are tough times. You know, I'm this lady in our church, my age. Her husband was out riding his bike. I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I mean, I don't know if we talked about it in the show. The husband just dropped dead of a heart attack, and three kids, 17, 12, and 4, I think. And what I did is I put on my calendar to call her during the holiday season. That actually sprung up on my list of things to do today. And I thought, that is another good tip. I don't know who taught that to me, but
That's good.
we
Very good.
tend to give so much care to people the week of, and then
Yeah.
you kind of, life goes on. You just kind of move on to other things. And so
Yeah.
what I've done is put it in my Outlook file. When friends that I know, that year comes up of the death of a parent or child or whatever, and then during the holidays are very difficult times as well.
Totally. Very cool.
This is from Connor Mook from Louisville, Kentucky. Hey, SYM team, I am only a junior in my church's youth ministry, but I'm very involved in the thought process that goes on inside the youth. Anyway, I know you all are very tech, and I just watched this video about a new application from Google called Google Wave. It's about the coolest thing I've ever seen in a while. Basically, you can log on and either start a wave or comment on an existing one. Each wave is a discussion board with either the entire world, or you can choose a select group of brainstormers in your inner circle. So Wave is just like a huge whiteboard with different people can comment, post pictures, and just add ideas to a topic. It is much more efficient than emailing back and forth and even texting. I think this would be perfect for youth ministries in terms of bouncing ideas off others to get solid ideas for programming or big top events. You could all even have a hot topic each week posted on Google Wave for all the subscribers and comment and get some feedback on. Check it out and tell me what you think. What do you guys think of Google Wave? Have you used it yet?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep. Matt got me an invite, so I was able to use it. It's still kind of in like testing or whatever.
Yeah.
I got
But-
the invite too. I'm way behind in my email.
How?
I am.
How did?
Seriously,
I had a
how
what
can you
number
be
of
so
invites?
behind?
What are you doing?
I would
all
like to.
day?
I would
Mountain
like.
biking, apparently.
No.
Growing his beard.
Yeah.
Cancer appointment.
so great.
Rarely do you make me laugh, and that was funny.
Ooh, you're behind in your email.
No, I
Must be
am.
nice.
I am. I am. I think I'm busier now than when I was working.
Oh.
Being a volunteer youth worker.
everybody, and by everybody I mean like at least twice a day. People are like, "So how's Doug doing?"
Yeah, I do hear that a lot.
He's
Usually
doing
it's
great.
Through the tears.
Through
the
tears.
Through
Yeah.
the
You know what my line has been
Yeah. What's that?
to friends? It has been everything I want to, nothing I have to.
It's good. It's good.
Sorry to say that to you
Yeah.
all that have to.
My line
Some
always
people that
is.
are chained to their.
My line always is great for him, tough for the church.
Great for him.
So how do we use Google Wave?
I would say very similar. You just upload, like, for example, you could upload an article that you're
Okay,
writing.
because you're like text man. I
Yeah.
mean, tech man. So how are you going
Yeah.
to use it in youth ministry?
I
Do you
actually am
use it on
not
your
that
team yet?
excited about it yet.
Yeah.
It's
But
not
I'd I'd like to get excited about it, but I'm not there. But for example, you could say like, here's the assignments for the weekend, and everyone can type in what they're going to do. You know, volunteers and whatever. Everyone could just kind of pick what their assignment is, and you could have like a collaborative document, kind of a living document, is how it would work. So it's interesting. Like you could be writing an article and go, hey, here's my first draft. Type in your thoughts, and then it's all
So
live.
is
right
it kind of
there.
like reply to all without having to get everybody's emails?
Yeah, there's no emails. It's
It's
like
email
But
and
doesn't the
instant
thread
message
come
at the
into
same
your
time.
inbox?
it's almost like a
Yeah.
standalone application.
So the thread
now.
does come back into your
No, not your
oh.
email inbox. You have
Oh,
a
oh,
Google Wave inbox. But
Right.
it is
And where's
a
that Google Wave inbox located?
You just google.com/wave.
waves.google.com.
So it's
A couple
on-
people have started doing
on
it
the
right.
web.
Like a guy wrote, I forget what website, but a guy wrote an article, said, my first draft is on Google Wave, and then 8 people contributed to the article, and then he posted the final article on his blog. And I thought, well, that's a good use of the
Yeah.
system.
It's like Wikipedia.
It's a little bit like Wikipedia for whatever project you're working on.
Yeah.
It's
is.
like
It
it's
is. Oh, I would
it's-
agree.
It's
Jana, stop
No.
for just a second.
Oh.
You have like a hair that is just in your eye.
Oh,
You're
thank
growing a
you.
gray beard as well.
Thank you. Why is it like Wikipedia though? Because everybody can contribute to it.
it's
Yeah.
not everybody though. You have to be invited. So you
Right.
have to invite
Oh,
someone
okay.
to
Well, you
it.
could make a document public.
Okay, so
or
could we do that? Could we do that with all the people that sign up for the wait thing?
Sure, we could use Google
But
Wave.
very few people have Google Wave accounts.
Oh.
Right, it's still. I think
Like
it's a
I
great
sent
idea.
you a limited one. I mean, there's probably other people I would have sent it to
Oh, do you
if
have
I
to-
would have known. No, you
It's
don't
a-
have to pay, but
It's a good use of
I would
technology.
have known you were just going to
I
laugh
think it's.
at
I think it's
I'm not
great.
laughing at it. Have
You
you seen me
just-
mocking it? I just
No,
can't get to my
You're
emails.
not really
So
taking it
busy.
very seriously.
Got cancer on my face.
I've been saying that for
I
years.
think it's a great. I think those are great ideas.
Yeah.
The ones
Yeah.
that he suggested, and I think it does have an enormous potential for.
It has a couple.
User
It's a little bit hard to use, but one of the annoying things is that you can see the other person while they're typing. You can see their words, and so that's a little bit annoying. You kind of would like to see them the final thing, but they can type out a full sentence and then delete
Yeah.
back, and you
It's
can
all
reply
live.
back. It's all live, so you can reply back anywhere you want, in the middle of a sentence or at the end of this
Interesting.
paragraph.
Well, like let's say you're working on a talk and you sent it to a couple people, and they could, the document now is living and alive, and you can edit everything in real time. And if you send it to somebody to look at, but then you've updated it. Well,
Yeah.
now if you did it on Google Wave, you're updating it live while someone else is
what would
reading
work for
it too.
for your context. It's like track changes.
Yeah.
If multiple
Yeah.
people were doing track
Yeah.
changes at the same time.
So you
But
can
the
see where the
document
changes
is
are
in
and
the
all that.
cloud
Yeah.
instead of on your computer.
Well, it sure seems like it has great
say
applications
it
for
does.
youth ministry.
Absolutely.
Volunteers, teams that talk,
Totally.
programming.
Oh yeah.
Programming, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't jumped on it yet, but I see the potential.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a chat room, if you're not there that minute, then you miss the chat.
Right,
And
right.
you can't add in the middle of the
That's why
conversation.
Google Chat didn't last very long.
Hmm?
Yeah,
But if you have an email, everybody can't contribute to an email. So it mixes those two things.
I think for the right projects, it's very, very cool.
well, good. Let's try it.
Okay.
Why don't one of you guys invite me?
Yeah, I think that sounds like a great
Oh,
idea.
I'll try to catch up with the
Oh,
email
yeah, why
line.
don't you
Well, I'm
check
hidden
your email?
inside this weekend.
Do you have a Gmail account?
Yeah.
Everyone does. Google is the Antichrist. Everyone knows that.
Dude.
No, I have a Gmail account called sympodcast@gmail.com.
Nah.
Yeah, send us your questions.
Maybe we should send them a wave. Did you get invites to do?
I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Thanks. That's good.
Anybody in our live audience using Google Wave?
Yeah, we were just talking about using it during the show to talk about the show and keep the show notes that way.
Oh, that's
Maybe.
interesting.
Great idea.
Yeah, using the show notes. Good.
Gee,
This
good
is
idea.
from Steve Carlson, the barbecue sauce winner.
Hello, Steve.
I like it when people comment on episodes.
Yeah.
It's a little insider though.
Not really when they set it up well. It's
Yeah.
insider when you don't set it up well. So.
So this one's gonna be set up really well, I guarantee.
Doug
it.
called me out on a recent episode when I asked the question, what ministry opportunities were created for you due to the state of the economy? In response, I think Jana hit the nail on the head when she said,
Nice, Jana.
yeah, well, that's why I'm reading it. I'm pregnant, a little sensitive.
Needs a little bit of
Apparently not
self-esteem
returning
boost.
to real emails fast enough.
Emotions real high up and down.
Jana's a little bit become like our friend Aaron Gutridge in that you can send an email and you'll get one back with 2 more questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be.
I thought you were about to
What?
say she's become like our friend Natalie from the first 50 episodes of the show. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
wow. I hope she
Wait.
doesn't do that to her new boss.
Oh.
I can't wait to hear
Finally.
more about that.
Finally.
Jana hit the nail on the head when she
Won't
said
last
for her it opened up the opportunity to see folks in the church that you usually wouldn't connect with for ministry. Personally, I was able to meet some great older guys who were able to save me a bunch on building out a snack area in our facility. Also, we recently held a youth pastor stuff trade day where we asked all the local youth pastors to bring all their used curriculums, games, DVDs, or other items. Then we kind of had a rummage sale with everyone that showed up. It was so well received that we have another one planned for 2010.
that's cool.
A very good idea. Very good idea.
Trade in your used stuff for other people's use. That's neat.
That is neat. Steve says, see you at the Simple Youth Ministry Conference, which we had a planning day yesterday, which was very fun. Josh led it,
That was fun.
and he did an excellent job.
Thank you.
He had
Thanks
high.
Thanks for the
Good.
invite.
Well, I was just going to
Oh,
say
we was on Google Wave.
we had high-powered players. That's why we had creative people.
Jenna, we wanted you to come,
People
but your
that
boss
love
wouldn't let you.
Jesus around the table, and Josh did a great job. But it was so fun. It was just fun. It's going to be a great conference.
That's
And what's
really neat.
funny, not funny, haha, but funny, wonderful, is that it's over half full.
Yeah.
And last year at this time, and we didn't break 1,000 until like deep into January.
Yeah.
We're like 1,400 people. We only
So
have room.
fun.
We only have room for
Cool.
another, I think, 1,100.
Yeah.
Yeah, very fun.
Sold out, high energy. Gonna be neat.
Okay, the
Segways this year?
No segues. There will be a music video.
Week.
Jake's doing a music video, and I'm not going to tell you anymore because it needs to be some surprises.
it's going to be fun. I was very inspired yesterday.
Is there going to be any content?
a little.
But can we talk
I mean,
about
that's
that?
why we're bringing you.
We're going to Google Wave his outline and
Thanks.
we can-
Yeah.
I had 6 people in
Jen,
my
are you
workshop.
going?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I am.
Because that's for sure now.
It's created a little controversy. Can I just let you know?
Oh, really?
Because
In
we don't
the
like to
Talman
keep things
Sarti
from our
family?
teams. No, not in the Talman
Team?
Sarti family. From the Simply Youth Ministry family to the group family.
What?
Yeah, they're a little concerned that Janet's going to be
I'm
pregnant.
gonna have a baby in Chicago.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
there's
They got
like,
hospitals
good.
there, ER.
I
Yeah,
know,
ER's there.
it's just one of those
True.
things like corporate policy doesn't like to put pregnant people on planes.
Did they have a
4
bad
weeks out.
experience?
If a kid is born in Chicago,
What?
are they still American?
Only if
It's not like we're going to Canada. Come on, people. It's America.
And that was an example, friends, of Josh finding that the only one of us finding that funny was the deliverer.
I did. It was very
That's right.
funny.
It's the best kind of humor.
If it's over your heads, that's cool. Just, did you find that funny? Yes.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
you are funny. You are
I'm a
funny.
little
Alright.
sleepy, guys. We need to pick this up.
Yeah.
Everyone in the audience is nodding.
If you'd
Your
focus
hair
well.
gave that away.
in the drool spot. Notice the drool spot, Jan. I
I
noticed
know.
you got all.
I got a drool spot?
I'm like McGill today. No, I did.
Due to the seriousness of my question,
No.
H from South Africa will do. So this is sent in to us from H from South Africa. This is our
Hello,
you know,
Harold.
part of our
Henry.
international team.
Hester.
A pre-happy birthday to Doug, Josh, and Matt.
Is that
Whoa.
kind of weird?
Oh,
What?
that they know our
Kinda weird.
birthdays?
Yeah.
Isn't that all on Facebook?
In lieu of gifts, send cash.
No, send food.
Plant
I
a
mean-
tree.
Who is the first one to go to send something for free? Right there. Yeah.
What?
December 16th or 14th?
He doesn't know.
16.
16th?
16th?
I'm 30th. You're the 28th. right?
28th, yeah.
I have no idea
I'm
what yours
May.
is.
May 4th.
May 2nd.
Yeah, I made that up.
May 2nd. Is I married on
Oh, it's
that day?
May Day. Cinco de Mayo.
I'm married in like November.
All right.
or
You know what?
October.
November,
Sometimes
you're
we're
right.
like junior hires where we don't even need, we just need a little comment to derail
Even
the
in the
whole
Something
middle
happened on
of,
May
middle of
2nd.
questions, we've been okay.
Especially when
Here
it's
we go.
serious.
Well, H from Africa.
South
that's-
Africa.
South Africa.
Whatever. Plant a tree. Here we go. In our honor, because it's our
Tree.
birthdays.
Oh gosh.
What?
In lieu of gifts. Go.
It has
It's
come to my
serious.
attention that one of my volunteers leaders has been cheating on his wife.
Oh,
It's
that's
really
weird.
messy. They don't stay together anymore and looks like he wants to divorce his wife to be with the other woman. His wife has opened up to me and shared the whole story. He doesn't know that I know yet. My questions. What will be the best way to approach him? How do you guys handle divorce situations? How much of it do I share with the rest of the students in the group?
0.
Is it natural to feel hurt and somewhat guilty? I must have been neglecting him if he didn't have the courage to come and speak to me when he started having feelings for another woman. Well, let me start with that one. We'll work backwards on this one.
That's an
'cause
important one.
to feel hurt and guilty, I totally understand that. But if somebody is messing around with somebody else, and I am been on church staff for 11 plus 18, 29 years.
Yep.
And in my last church, there was 3 pastors that, people that I was close to, that were involved with other women. And you kind of get that, like, oh, I should have known. Oh, now it makes sense. Oh, I didn't,
Why didn't I say anything?
Yeah,
One
I
time
kind of
felt-
thought,
Yeah.
and you can totally beat yourself up over that. But the experience that I've had is that when somebody is cheating on a spouse. Hey, Jim Burns just walked in on that comment there. I don't
Welcome to the show,
Yeah,
Jim.
maybe there is a. I was going to say maybe the Lord wanted us to
Tiger Woods.
Doctoring on us.
wanted us to confront Jim
Should
on
one
something.
of us step out so Jim can join again?
Yeah, actually, I have to go, so Jim could totally take my seat.
Okay, go.
I want to call you Dr. Burns. I don't know you well enough to call you Jim.
That is his Twitter.
That's fun.
Look at that.
He had to leave anyway.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and
Bye.
gentlemen,
Love you guys.
Have fun.
Jim Burns.
Tell your boss we said
Hey,
hello.
leave that water bottle there
No, it's mine.
next to the chain on your leg. Hey, this is fun.
Well, you've got a beard.
No, I don't really have a beard.
I was actually talking about Jana. No, you.
That's maybe the meanest thing I think he's ever said.
That's
Jim,
not-
Jim does not say mean
He's
things.
known you for so
Okay,
long.
wait.
You rubbed off on him.
You're talking about something
You gotta-
very serious.
you gotta turn in
Oh,
your
are you?
part.
Oh,
It's
hi
not
there.
radio.
Hello. Didn't mean
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, it's not.
Like,
it's not radio.
I just came in early to our meeting
Okay,
because
so I have a. You did come early. That's awesome. I'm with a professional photographer this morning who's doing our family portraits, and he says, "What
With
are you doing?"
this?
It was
No,
with
no, no. I've
this.
your hair
just,
kind
I've
of
just
like that?
seen the
Oh, okay,
photos.
got it.
They were already taken
Got it.
this summer. I was much heavier then. I asked him what he could do about that, and apparently a lot. So he's saying, what are you doing today? And I'm telling him podcast, and then I'm meeting with my friend Jim Burns. I said, do you know Jim? And he goes, oh, I get his homeward email every day. He goes, I really like that guy. He needs a new photo.
Well, he's a photographer. Of course he's
Right.
going to say that.
Yeah, but I think Jim does kind of need a new photo. He has one, Jim.
So are
I
you
don't know.
gonna
what-
No, no, that's gone. I have a new photo.
Okay,
Are you
you
gonna
did
pay
have
for it?
one with your.
Yeah.
Who talked you into the fist on the
That was
chin thing?
embarrassing. Okay. I didn't know it was going to come out. I don't do photos. Okay.
You didn't know it was going to come out.
No, I didn't know it was going to be. That was
Like
going
when
to be
they
the one they were
click
going
that,
to
and they
use.
say, "Hey, smile."
Well, no, they told me to do that, but I didn't know that was going to be the one they were going to use.
Okay, let's let our team know that if anybody ever takes a picture of you, the chances of them using it somewhere, or if they ever say, "Give us the Thinkers one," just don't do that.
No,
Yeah.
Don't do that.
That's
Yeah.
amazing that you would say that.
Practical
That is
advice. That's what you get on this podcast.
That is.
Now,
So-
I walked
How to
in and you were
take this
talking
picture.
about.
We're talking
Yeah,
about this.
something actually
this
serious,
This
yeah.
is H from South Africa, Jim.
Oh, great.
And he said he was feeling hurt and somewhat guilty that one of his volunteers is having an affair and that he didn't know. And what I was saying is the experience of people that I've been around is they will lie and lie and lie and lie and lie and lie until you say, well, here's what I know. You know, I was watching something the other day. A spouse was confronting something on TV, and the guy said, "What do you know?" Well, because that's what they'll do. They'll tell you right up to what you know, and then they'll pretend like it's over and that was it, and the whole time. Then you find out more information, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
to feel guilty, I understand that because I have felt the hurt. Definitely have felt the hurt, the betrayal.
Right.
One guy that you and I know very well was actually in my small group. For a while, our offices were a couple doors down from each other. We did a lot of life together, and I had no idea. So
Yeah.
the hurt, absolutely the hurt. I just want to address that quickly. The other question, Jim, you didn't walk in for the question. What will be the best way to approach him?
Yeah.
So here's the youth pastor, H from South Africa, now needs to approach this volunteer. What do you say is the best way to approach him?
I think you do it lovingly, but really firm. And really, they will one day thank you, but they won't at the beginning.
Yeah.
I had an experience once with somebody very close to you and me, and I showed up at his office. It was in the morning, and I knew he had to come into the office, so I was sitting there at 7:30 in the morning, waited an hour, and he said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Boy, I'd love to have a conversation with you," and I just told him what I knew. And we cried, and obviously he didn't want to be in his office, and we had this conversation. I would say it was 5 years later. He said, "Thank you for doing that. I wish other people would have had the courage." Actually, you know this story real well. Today, he's leading in a church. I mean, he's not a pastor, but he's doing some leading, and he's leading out of his own brokenness. Today, he thanks people who would have done that. During that time, they're not going to go, "Well, thanks so much."
Yeah.
But in reality, they need that.
There is another piece to that, and this is actually a good bookend of this. I don't think we've ever talked about this, is that same person who you had the courage to go confront, I said something to a buddy. Like, I think so-and-so is involved with.
Yeah.
Have you ever sensed that? Well, that buddy knew, told the guy, "Hey, Fields knows," and then the guy came after me very aggressively, and you're out. You know you're going to hurt my marriage. I mean, he attacked me, basically, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't," and I believed him. He was an older guy. He was somebody who was a kind of a leader in my life, and I respected him, and I thought I was out of bounds. So, instead of doing what Jim did, Jim went right to him. I went to a friend and said, "Have you noticed anything weird about that?" And it backfired on me, but
you know what? But sin makes it uncomfortable and awkward for all of us.
Yeah.
When you know somebody is involved in that, or you don't know, but it's hard to do.
Yeah.
But I just find that the most effective way is in love, firm. I think that's kind of the way Jesus was.
yeah.
The only thing I would add to that is that for me, in a situation I've been in, that to continue to check in. Like, it's not fair. In my situation, it wasn't fair to just confront and that be the end of it. Like,
Right.
In order to be a friend, I needed to continue to check in and continue to hold accountable, but also continue to love and figure that out,
Well, in the situation that I think you're talking about, Jana, this person was on our church staff at Saddleback, and the person got removed from staff, and then it was almost like this person wasn't even alive.
Right.
And Jana was really the one of everybody on the staff that kept going back to the person and caring for them and checking in. And it was kind of like, okay, we dealt with the problem. You're not on staff anymore. They turned their back and continued to do ministry, and Jana kept going after this person and loving, and still does to this day.
Good job, Jan.
Yeah.
You guys give high fives in podcasts?
Well,
this is my second podcast.
It
I
is.
didn't mean to be in this one.
No, that's all right.
Okay.
That's all right. Well, I'm just surprised you're early to anything. So that was great.
Are you normally
sure you
late?
didn't
Are
get
you
your
normally
time
late
right?
for things?
He's late.
Yeah,
He
we're
totally
no.
is late.
Burns is like a mirror of me, though.
Really?
Yeah, not
Yeah.
ever majorly late, but 5 to
Not
7
like when
minutes.
it's you and Kathy that have to be somewhere. Then you guys are like quadruple late.
Yeah.
You know what?
Not your
known.
Kathy.
My Kathy.
Also.
That's a marriage issue. I know we talk about marriage, but that is one of our problems.
Is being late?
Well, I actually lied last night. I'm just going to admit this to podcast because we had a
Gonna-
dinner at 6:30, and I told Kathy 6:15, and we got there at
Mish
6:45.
does that to me, and that makes me crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not right.
And it's
And I-
deserving, but
Yeah. Well, no.
But he also asked a question: How much of it do I share with the rest of the students in our group? He says there are 3 students that work with him over weekends, and they know about the whole thing.
Oh.
It's only time before the rumors start. I want to protect the integrity of the leadership team, but I also don't want to hide the truth.
Well, don't you? I mean, protect the integrity of the leadership team is an interesting phrase. It's like, okay, I'm not sure I really understand what that is, but as far as the 3 kids that do know, I mean, I think it's real easy to pull them aside and say, hey, look, this just isn't something you talk about. I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully you could say that and they'll listen to that, but it does no good to talk and let everybody know. And
Well,
But
it's
I
a
would
discipleship
imagine-
moment, but you also
Most
got we're
definitely.
dealing with teenagers here who are not going to have the same capacity.
Sure.
Because they're going to be devastated. I mean,
Well, they're going to
You know.
need to talk about it. And
Yeah.
so to give them permission to come and talk, and when you need to
Yeah.
talk about it, come talk to me. When you have questions about it, come talk to me.
he
I
brings
just
up
think
picture box like that.
this is going to be terrible.
there was
That
just,
change
there was
is
just
just made at
with
the
me
church.
leaving
Right.
Saddleback, there were some structural changes.
Yeah.
And Jana oversees all of the interns.
Yeah.
Started with just youth ministry. She
Yeah.
did such a stellar job.
She
They've
runs the
given her
ministry, we know
everything.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they needed to put Jana in some type of, where is she going to fit? Well, they gave her to McGill.
Which is perfect, because we both know the real boss is
Yeah,
Jana.
Jana was
that's
my
true.
boss.
No,
the
no,
whole
no.
time.
But,
Yeah.
In fact, I would say that to my office. If you want something good, like Cindy would go to Jana, not
Oh,
you,
absolutely.
with no offense to you.
No,
yeah,
no.
yeah. Well, let's
I'm-
go ahead and
I-
think that. What's something we could talk about?
I would be happy for people to know that Jana is my boss.
No.
She
The
should
word
be-
I used to use because I'm older than you guys was boss. She was boss, so that means she's cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you know,
Yes.
she's
Yeah.
boss.
That
Much
is-
older.
I don't think a lot of your podcast crowd knows the word boss. Let's try to bring it back.
Yeah.
Somebody bring that thing back.
I
That was a
tried.
good
I
boss.
tried to get the word chim back. Remember chim?
I do, but I thought that was like only in
Wait a
our
minute.
youth group.
Chim was a word from the past?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you made that up. Did you think he
No,
made
I
that
was.
up?
That was.
He's
that
made
was Natalie
nothing up.
Mays'
Well.
podcast.
He just copied somebody.
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
Most
man,
of
this
my
is
books that say
great.
Doug Fields on them could actually say Jim Burns on them.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Matt McGill.
How
I
great
knew
that
you
you're
were gonna
giving
say that.
H all this time on such,
Yeah.
on such a serious thing.
No, we
This-
are. We answered his question. What's
This is
the
called
best
the
way-
ADD
Oh, I
This
know.
is-
podcast.
we
So
are
it's the
like
junior high podcast. Like we started this thing, Burns, and then it says a pre-happy birthday, and we went off on birthdays before we got to poor H.
Hey, your
But-
birthday's coming up too.
Yeah, it is. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
What will be the best way to approach him? We talked about them. Direct, loving. How do you guys handle divorce situations? You know, that is too open-ended of a question, but in
Yeah.
a situation like you're going to be in, very fresh, when
Yeah.
you've only talked, you know, the other thing, he's only talked to the wife too, so he's heard
Yeah,
one side
yeah.
of the story. You know, that's your next conversation is when you confront the guy, you're hearing the other side of the story. Also, I would, in a leadership type position like this, to me, this is a no-brainer where you're removing him from leadership,
Yes.
at least for a season, a significant season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, we with the email before from Danette, Maddie saying about how she appreciated the power of presence, like that she heard that on a podcast. And I think we just had a situation on our team, like at one of our campuses, where the campus pastor, it wasn't him, but he was there for the family. You know, he was there for the family, and it was like late at night till 2 and 3 in the morning
Yeah.
talking, and they had high school kids, and there's anger and yelling and denial, and it was a really long week. But he took the time. He knew that it wasn't a couple platitude type answers and a scripture, and I'll pray for you. It was, how do I be here?
That's good.
You know,
Yeah.
I think that's
Why
important.
don't give your piggyback on that, Burnsy, with your whole power of presence,
Yeah.
because that's like a life theme for you.
It is. You know, I call it the power of being there. you
Yeah.
know. And the reason I do that is because, you know, I think Jesus modeled that to us.
Mhm.
He said, "Let the little children come," when other rabbis of that day were not allowing that.
Yeah.
And, you know, kids regard your very presence as a sign of caring connectedness, but also so do adults. And so
Yeah.
there's a lot of times when it's not our words, but it's our presence that makes the difference. It's just literally him showing up.
Yeah.
Did he give great words of wisdom? How do you give great words of wisdom when somebody's in that kind of pain? Not really.
Yeah.
There's amazing consequences to the types of sin that you're talking about, or even when people are suffering. I don't find that people, you know, really minister to me with great words, or even, and I hate to say this because I want to hear scripture, but sometimes people kind of do that as a platitude.
Yeah.
But when they're present, when they're there, you know, I appreciate. I had a surgery in May, and a friend of mine who's the president of Azusa Pacific, John Wallace, came, and in the middle of my talking to him, I fell asleep, and I don't remember him being there.
Yeah.
And when I woke up, he said, "I'm still here. I want to finish this conversation." I didn't remember the conversation, type of thing. But you know what? It really meant a lot. He was really busy, and it meant a lot that he came and sat
there.
You know, there.
Yep.
You know, I had that surgery. Doug was not there.
Yes.
Because he's not been
Yes.
present too many times in well, you know, in all
In
of my
important situations,
all of my
but
issues.
yeah.
But I don't want to bring up that.
No,
but the
you know
power
what?
of presence
If
is
you
is
listen to
critical.
the podcast at the very beginning, the first 5 minutes, we
Yeah.
talked about medical issues.
Oh,
Yours was
gosh.
mentioned. Not specifically, in
Oh,
general.
gosh.
Oh,
Yeah.
What
goodness.
are you?
Did you talk about your medical issues?
Yeah.
Well, emotional, medical
Oh, absolutely.
problems.
No, we didn't really. It was all physical. It was all about.
The cancer that is all
Yeah.
mental in your head doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
There was prostate comments. There was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colostomy.
Yeah.
I had a colostomy once.
With a doctor that said he had a gentle touch.
Seriously. And my thing was,
Oh,
are you
the
horrified?
team's heard it.
or-
All right.
Yeah, we're bringing him up to
Speaking of our
speed.
team, we love you. God bless you.
Oh, this is it?
Yeah. We're
One more email?
huh? We got a lot done.
Gosh.
It's not.
Light. This was podcast light.
Well, look who was here.
Hey, I got an email, by the way, from the last podcast.
did?
Yeah, I'm
that's
not. I
cool.
don't. I wish I had the name. He sent me an email and
Oh,
said
that's great.
how fun
That's
it was.
super cool.
So I was, I was
That's
Oh,
pretty
well,
excited.
we loved having you. And for those of you that have not heard Jim's daily radio program or daily devotional or ministry to parents, Homeward, HOMEWORD.com.
could do the radio program.
Yep. Yep.
That's
He
about
does
the
have
only
a
thing I
face
could
for
do in your
radio.
radio program. Just the
That's right.
announcements.
That's
I always Burns and I have done a few radio shows together, and he's so good. He's so professional. It's like got the voice, the whole bit. I freeze. I'm like
Yeah.
Here, I could talk about anything, but on
Yeah.
your show, I freeze
Well,
up.
he's got a real show.
I know.
He raises the value of this show at least 10 times, maybe more.
But I guarantee you, he does not have as much fun.
Really?
Hey, this
You-
is more
you
fun.
have fun with
Hey, you know what?
do?
When I was with you guys last time, I said to my Kathy, I said, that is better than psychotherapy. I haven't had psychotherapy, but I just had a blast.
See, that's funny because this results in my psychotherapy. That's what I need you to know.
That's funny.
That is funny. All right. Well, until next week.
Okay.
Blessings.